Welcome to Money Mindset Mashup. I just want to take a moment to welcome everyone and let's get present in the space. If you are able, close your eyes and we're going to take a deep breath in and out. Another breath in through your nose and out. And a third breath in and out. Let us be guided by our infinite wisdom and knowing. Take a moment now to set an intention for this process. Receive the answers that you are open to and capable of working through and transmuting. This is deep healing work, and we give thanks for the knowledge we receive. And so it is. Please open your eyes. So let's get into it. Hi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Stephanie Kelcey. I'm a certified Profit First professional and a certified professional bookkeeper here in Canada. And I really want to thank you for taking the time and being here today and trusting me with your time, which is our most valuable asset. So, a little bit about me. I've been running my own business since 2011. After my second child was born, I didn't want to continue doing a 3-hour commute to my good job. It was a great job. I loved it, but it no longer served me in my most important role now as a mother. So I built a little solopreneur business that kind of grew organically as my children grew, which was great. And then in 2014, at the age of 40, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My children were 4 and 6 at the time. And I initially pursued natural treatments while monitoring things with an allopathic doctor every 6 months. Now, I did that for 2.5 years until things changed. And then I decided to pursue traditional treatments, which ended up being 15 months of intense treatments, chemotherapy, surgeries, radiation, and immunotherapy. So towards the end of my treatments in 2018, it became very apparent that my marriage was in trouble. And I spent another 2.5 years trying to build a new relationship with my partner while recovering from breast cancer, while undergoing reconstruction surgeries. And then, that thing in March 2020 happened in there as well. So it was a lot. Sensing that my marriage may not go in the direction I wanted, I decided to incorporate my sole proprietor business in 2019 as I incorporated as a way to protect some of my money. Then in the autumn of 2020, I made the difficult decision to end my marriage. What followed was a 1.5 years of cohabitating while separated because of COVID and because of finances. I was not in a financial position to have the freedom to physically leave. And since that time, I've had many conversations with people who are in a similar position. So when I learned about Profit First, which I'll talk about a little bit more at the end, when I first learned about Profit First in 2020 and then implemented it in my business in 2021, I was able to build wealth within my corporation that enabled me to move out on my own into my own apartment in May 2022. And once I had my own space and was only doing 50% of the caregiving as opposed to like 90% previously, um, I I had the space and time to truly begin healing. That work led me to creating Capture Profits to empower people to take control of their financial wellness, as I had to do. So, this workshop is an introduction to that course, which I'll talk about again more at the end. So, why are we here? I know firsthand the impact and empowerment that comes from taking control of your financial wellness. I stayed in a marriage and situation longer than I would have liked, in part due to being financially tied to my former partner. But I learned the Profits First system, which enabled me, empowered me to move on. Also, in my work as a bookkeeper and profit coach, I've come to understand that many business owners don't have the financial awareness to effectively run profitable businesses. They ignore this side of their business. It's ironic given that we live in a capitalist society, but it is that way. So, my desire is to empower business owners around their financial wellness. Money and finances are not complicated. Money comes in, money goes out. It's just energy and it moves, it flows. What is complicated is how we relate to money and the stories we tell ourselves about money. If we can alter the narrative, we can alter the relationship. I believe this work is healing work, and I'm so excited to facilitate this space to begin this process for you. So today, I will be walking you through a series of questions. Answer them to the best of your ability right now. You may have to ponder some and come back to them later. If you aren't already prepared, please go get a pen or pencil and paper or open a new blank document to type into. Um, because this is posted on YouTube, there's not going to be an opportunity to share, but you can certainly put your comments down below and share anything, any breakthroughs, any ahas that you would love to. That would be great. I want to say that anything that like this is not, I want to share that this is not a therapy session. I am not a therapist. If you uncover anything that needs more work, please see your therapist or seek one out. And if you have any questions, please comment below. So let's get into it. What is your first memory of money? No wrong answers here. Take a moment and think back. Close your eyes if you need to. So I remember being about 10 years old and I had a paper route. I delivered the Peterborough Examiner in Peterborough, Ontario. Now, this was the early 80s when they sent kids door to door to collect. So after I would collect, I kind of felt crazy rich because I would have all this money and these $1 bills and $2 bills back when there was $1 bills and $2 bills and $5 bills some people would give me. And so I would go on my way home and I'd hit the Beckers on the corner and load up on candy. And like this, oh, it was such a beautiful feeling. Like I loved having that feeling of like, I have so much money. I can buy all the candy I want because, I was 10. That's one of my earliest memories of money. If you need to pause the video and take some time to write out your answers, please do so. But I'm just going to keep rolling and going through the questions. Next question. When you were growing up, do you remember hearing certain phrases or sentiments about money? If something comes to you quickly, like jot it down. What do you remember hearing? Such a popular phrase is this money doesn't grow on trees. Or I remember watching reruns of the Monkeys, and they had that pretty cross stitch in the background that read, "Money is the root of all evil." Interesting, right? So take a moment and think about what phrases or sentiments do you remember hearing when you were younger? Moving right along. How do you think these early memories influence your beliefs about money? Were they harmful? Were they helpful? Were they limiting, either in how you can receive money or how much you are worthy of receiving? Does it Were your memories abundant and generous? Um, or was it more miserly, greedy, frugal? You know, 100 years ago, I'm filming this in at the end of 2024. 100 years ago, there had been a world war, and there was going to be a period of 10 years of depression, which then led into a second world war. We're all descendants of that time. And I know my family personally and my own history from a financial perspective and money perspective was very influenced by that. And these things get carried through the generations. So is there anything that you can think of or remember from intergenerational stuff as well? Can be super interesting to understand how you've got the money mindset that you do. Next question. Who or what were your biggest money influences? Be specific about the people and or institutions, because you can then think about where they may have been influenced from, as I was just saying, like previous intergenerational trauma that may have been carried down. I think it's very important not to blame, but rather try to understand with the perspective of compassion. We're all doing the best that we can with what we have. So, family is usually the biggest influence when it comes to our money mindset and our ideas about money. There's religion, there's culture, race, gender, sexuality, friends, societal, goes on and on and on. So take a moment and think about what are some of the people or institutions that have influenced you. Next question. Were these early influences helpful or harmful to your image of money? If helpful, in what ways? How have you benefited? If they're harmful, can you reframe that belief or start to think about those in a different way? This can be challenging. Um, but can you change your a limiting belief to an expansive one? Going back to the example earlier that money is the root of all evil. Well, money isn't inherently good or bad. It is just a resource. And the evil comes from the humans and how they allocate and use that resource. It's not the money itself. So, is there a way that you can reframe things that feel harmful? Next question. What lies or untrue statements do you tell yourself about money? Like, I'm no good with money. There isn't enough money. I'm no good at math, so I can't do money. Um, I can't save. I need to spend money to feel good about myself. I'm always broke. I hate money. I can't budget. Are there any lies or untrue statements that you tell yourself about money? And these may feel very true, but I want you to see that they're just stories that you tell yourself. So, can you tell yourself a different story? Or can you start to see that, huh, maybe that isn't the full story? Next question. And again, if you need to pause and ponder and write, please do so. I like this one. What are you greedy for? So, greedy is the intense and selfish desire for something. Greed is usually associated with being a negative trait, but I'd like you to imagine greed as helpful and abundant in this context and really move away from judgment of greed towards an openness to it. So, for instance, for myself, one of the things I'm greedy for is my time. My time is everything to me. Um, I'm also greedy for money. Like, let's be honest. Um, Vacations, I love a nice vacation. Self-care, so important to me. I'm very greedy for my self-care. Organic produce and meats, so important that we eat well and nourishing. I'm greedy for that. Donating. I want money so I can redistribute it to the places that I think need resources. I think that's a very important aspect to our giving and receiving. Do you want a new car, a jewelry, a nice watch, or any possessions? Those really aren't my things. I'm not so into them. Um, but other people can, and no judgment. What are you greedy for? What like makes you like you're like, yes, I want that. And maybe you already have it, or maybe you would like to bring it into your life. This is a great question. If you had an unlimited supply of money, oh, spoiler alert, you do, what amazing things would you do? Would you retire? Would you build something like a new business or maybe a hospital wing? Would you start a charitable foundation? Travel? Would you share your money? How would you share your money? Would you move to a new home or a new location? What would you buy? You had an unlimited supply of money. It's fun to ponder. Dream big. If you think of money as simply energy, it can come from anywhere. in any amount at any time. It doesn't have to come from your job or come from a lottery win, or like if you can start to release the parameters on how you are willing to receive, and not just money, but any abundance. If someone gives me, I recently received a bag of lemons, that's abundance. Um, I, if I see a dime on the road, I'll stop and I'll pick that up. And my kids are always like, "Oh my God, why are you doing that?" But that's abundance. Don't don't think that any amount is too small, or if you get tickets to an event, somebody can't go and they gift you tickets. That's abundance. Or somebody is like, "Oh, I I got a soup and a sandwich, but I don't want the sandwich. Do you want it?" That's abundance. So just take it all in, receive it with love, and also give with love when you're able to. So I know that's been a lot, but right now, take another deep breath. We're going to take a moment and we're going to write an incantation or an affirmation that supports a new and expansive idea about money, finances, abundance. These are going to be I am type of statements. You can have one statement, you can have many. They will be in the present tense. You can comment below with any great ones that you've come up with. I've got some here. I always have and will always have enough. I control my financial wellness. We give our power away to others a lot. So if you need to take control of that, that's a great one. I deserve and am worthy of great abundance. So simple, because you are. We all are. The more I receive, the more I give. Beautiful. My relationship with money is healthy and vibrant. Beautiful. I am open to receiving prosperity in expected and unexpected ways. Again, being open to all the possibilities. I am free to receive more than my fair share, because we can always be willing to give any extra away. So those are the 9 questions, or the 8 questions, and then the incantation I have for you to start this process of working through your money mindset. If you've had any great ahas or breakthroughs, I'd love for you to comment below this video. And thank you in advance for sharing anything that you do. As I mentioned in the beginning, I wanted to talk about the Capture Profits course. So this money mindset workshop that we did, just walked through, is a portion of the first module of the Capture Profits course. So the reason I pulled this piece out to build this workshop around, and the reason it's the first module in the course, is because I believe it is the most important work. Anyone can buy a book and implement a system, but without a mindset shift, nothing will change. So what is Capture Profits? Capture Profits is a course that's mainly based on the principles of profit first. but it builds on that to include this mindset piece. And that is so important. It is a 6-month course that is delivered over 13 modules. And the way I've designed it is that a new module is released every 2 weeks because life is a lot, stuff happens. Um, so I want to give participants the space and the time they need to work through and to integrate. If you apply 1 to 2 hours a week to the course and reading the book, you're going to rock the course. There are weekly support calls, which is an hour-long weekly group session. And you also get a copy of the book by Mike McCallowitz. Now, what is this profit first business? So, profit first is a cash flow system developed by Mike McCallowitz that models the old envelope system that, I don't know, maybe your grandma used. But instead of using cash in envelopes, we use cash in bank accounts. So we have several foundational bank accounts with specific purposes, including accounts for profits first, because what you focus your attention on first becomes your priority. There's also an account for taxes, owner's compensation, very important, operating expenses, and materials and subcontractors if you use them. Those are kind of the foundation, and then you can build out additional purpose accounts depending on your specific needs. So what we do in the course is walk you through the money mindset piece, start to make those shifts. Then we walk you through developing and implementing the profit first system into your business, fully customized to your business. And since you're going to be building it out, you're going to learn the system and you're going to learn how to run this in your business moving forward. Now, the mission of Profit First as their own kind of corporate entity, their mission is to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty because something like 80% of entrepreneurs live below the poverty line, which is staggering considering small businesses form the basis of our economy. So if we can turn these businesses around and really start focusing on profits, it's such a powerful, powerful thing. It can change not only your business, but as it did in my case, change my life completely. So that's the profit first system. Now, who's this for? It's for solopreneurs, freelancers, small business owners. Maybe you ignore the financial side of your business because it's too stressful or confusing, or you don't like math, or someone told you you're no good at it, right? Like some of those limiting beliefs that hopefully we've started to shake up. Or maybe you're willing to learn and do things differently, but you just don't know what you're supposed to do. You don't have a system that works for you, or maybe you don't even know that you need a system. Maybe you think everything's just fine, and maybe it is. That'd be amazing. So if that sounds like you, I encourage you to go to the website and check out more. You can book a call with me. We can talk because I would just really love to help you become empowered and elevate your business and elevate your life. It's it's a beautiful feeling when you finally take control of the thing that has felt overwhelming and out of reach for so long. It really is. So the investment, everyone wants to know how much. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, the minimum investment is 6K. Right off the top, that gives you like an assessment and 4 quarterly reviews. That's it, bare bones. This course is being offered for a one-time payment of $3,000 or 6 monthly installments of $550. Now, because you're here, I would love to offer a 10% discount code for everyone that's worked through this training. It's profits 10 is the discount code. And if you would like, I can send you the first 2 chapters of the book, Profit First, so you can start reading it and see if it's something that you would be interested in. This gives you some history and perspective, as well as the core principles that make up the methodology. So our next launch date is February 2025. And I will put the link to the waitlist down below. If there's enough interest, I might open the doors early. But otherwise, it will be February 2025. I think it's going to be February. That's what my astrologer told me. Thank you for being here. I hope this was helpful, illuminating, and that you've started to mash up some of those ideas that you've maybe held. And I truly believe that financial work is healing work. It doesn't get advertised like that. But I really think this work can be very healing. And when you take control of your finances, when you take control of your wealth, you take control of your power, and you can take control of your wellness. So it's so vital. It's so important. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'd be happy to connect. All the socials are below. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. Well,
Visit captureprofits.ca today.